Hello everyone, Porcelain here on Manufactured, and welcome to another strange video that I've never done before. So this one is a baking video, and I do like doing a lot of creative things. That includes baking, but not usually. I don't do too much baking. I usually stick to more permanent forms of crafting, so this was kind of something different that I wanted to try. And the whole idea behind this was my cousin, he and his fiance were having a bridal shower, and the theme was sunflowers, and so they needed cupcakes for it, so I was making sunflower cupcakes. So the things I used for this were some cupcake liners, cake in a box, some icing, some dried apricots, dark chocolate, and then like these little chocolate pebble things that I found. Now you don't have to use a boxed cake mix, you can make your own, do whatever. I just chose to make a box cake because I was really stressed for time on this project, and that's what I did. So turning the oven on and adding all the ingredients into the bowl. This cake mix also required eggs and milk and other things like that, so I had to do that as well. Also, if you're wondering why this video is coming out this week and not last weekend, I did miss my upload for last weekend, which I had a good streak going, but I had to miss it. If you stick around till the very end of the video, you will see the really exciting reason actually why I had to miss last week's upload. It's actually really amazing. It's a great experience that I got to have, and if you watch till the end, you will get to see what it was. So yeah, stick around until then if you want to find out. After I had mixed all my ingredients together, I just lined the cupcake pans and then proceeded to pour in equal amounts of the cupcake batter. This made 24 cupcakes, as box mixes tend to do. If you are at least a Canadian, I know that. If you're a Canadian and you are using a box cake mix, I highly recommend the Betty Crocker ones just because they are the most indistinguishable from actual homemade cake batter. Aside from like other cupcake mixes just don't tend to work as well. Yes, so lined the pans, filled them, and stuck them in the oven. And then came the waiting process. But while I was waiting, I had to prepare the petals for the sunflowers, which I chose to make out of dried apricots. I've never seen this done before. It was just something I thought of, and I just prayed it would work. So at first I tried using the sharper, nicer kitchen knives that I had. They didn't work so well for cutting the apricots, but then I went in with a serrated knife, and that worked great. And it was able to make lots of nice petals. I found the drier the apricot was, the better it was for keeping that solid petal shape that you want for your sunflower cupcake. After completing this process, the cupcakes were done baking and ready to be iced and decorated, which is the fun part, the interesting part of the video that you all came to see, I'm sure. I mixed some green food dye in with my icing, just to create a nicer base color than the white. I think you can go with either the green if you want to, or I would go with that darker yellowy orange color that the apricot sunflower petals are going to look like, just because it just would, those two colors I think would complement these specific designs rather well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cupcake, as you can see, and just apply a little bit of icing. It doesn't matter if this is applied super neatly because it is going to be mostly covered. You are not going to see much of the icing through the actual cupcake, and you won't notice exactly how it was applied. You can do this with a piping bag, but because you won't be seeing it, it's very easy to just go in and put it on with a knife. However, the petals would have been a little bit easier with a piping bag if I had used them. So I'm going to take the petals and I'm just going to press them into the cupcake, going all the way around the edge. After that's done, I add a little bit more icing and apply a few more petals. In between the petals that I had put down on the bottom row, I put in some smaller ones. Now this process does get quite sticky. This is like the stickiest process I've ever done for making cupcakes, but once you let the apricot pieces dry, or if you had let them dry overnight in your bowl, then it would be a lot less sticky, and it's not as sticky when people are actually eating it. It's just the nature of freshly cut dried apricot pieces, or apricot, however you want to pronounce them. I know that either way I would get people complaining about the pronunciation. So once those are down, you just add one of your little dark chocolate wafers, and I chose dark chocolate simply because I felt that it would go best with the apricot flavoring, and they seemed to go off really well. People seemed to really like them, so I think they actually turned out quite good, and that was a good choice for the center of the sunflower. And it makes a cute little sunflower. So you're going to do this, and you're going to repeat this process. I did half of the cupcakes this way. You could do all of them, or you could do just a few of them this way. It all depends on what you specifically want. I did half because I wanted a nice checkerboard pattern with the other ones I made. For the other ones, I'm just icing them and then adding a few of the chocolate pebbles on top, so it looks really cute in with the sunflowers. It still has that rustic vibe that I was trying to capture for the bridal shower. And after a lot of work, and I think it probably took me 3 or 4 hours, this entire project, but after all that time, they are finally done and ready to be transported to the bridal shower, or, you know, ready for your party, whatever it is. The bridal shower ended up being great. There was like really, really lovely weather, which it has rained every single weekend all through the summer, I think since March, at least where I live. And so it was crazy that we actually got a nice day for them. It almost rained in the evening, but thankfully it didn't. And you can see the lovely spread of food we had from everyone bringing something. My cupcakes in all their glory. Very happy with that. Very happy how they turned out. I'm glad they were well received, and I had a lot of fun making them. It's always fun to challenge yourself to just have a concept and then have to think about, okay, how can I make a sunflower cupcake? How can I do this? And coming up with it and actually making something. I would probably make them again just because they were cute and they tasted really good. Now, I actually left the bridal shower a little bit early and I had to run in my uncomfortable shoes and my dress downtown for something that was a very special event that was happening in Ottawa at the time. It is an event called La Machine, in which a French theater company had created these giant animatronic like robot creatures that had to be controlled by multiple people. They were huge. There was a spider and a dragon, and they told this absolutely beautiful story. My feet hurt a lot after this journey, but it was well worth it. It was amazing to see them up close. They absolutely tower above you, and the spider, its joints and its legs were just so fascinating, and the dragon, it was so expressive. And it's amazing to think of all the people who had to work together simultaneously just to make that work. It was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I'm so glad I got to see it. If you're ever in a city near an event happening called La Machine, I highly recommend you go and see it. I wish I had seen them when they were just walking down the streets of Ottawa, but I wasn't available for that, so I had to go, obviously, last Sunday night, and that is why I couldn't put out a video. I was working all day, going to the bridal shower, and then running downtown in my heels to see these amazing robots with a live orchestra, and it was just the coolest thing ever. A video does not convey how amazing it is up close in person when you're just a few rows of people away from them. It was an amazing, amazing experience. So I hope you guys understand that that's why I couldn't put out a video last week, and hopefully this footage has at least conveyed a little bit of just how exciting that experience was for me. Again, if you guys ever have the chance to go and see it, I can't recommend it enough. It was a completely free event, and I don't think there was a bad place to like stand and watch it. No bad seats or whatever. So yeah, it was just an amazing experience, and I couldn't pass that up. I'm sorry guys, I love you, but I'm not gonna pass up that experience. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you ever do make these sunflower cupcakes or some sort of variation on them, it would be great if you could share it with me. Just, you know, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. Those links are always in the description. Aside from that, I do make videos twice a week, once on Wednesdays and once on Sundays. So if you want to subscribe, you will be getting twice weekly content for hopefully as long as I can keep putting out videos. I know the school year is starting again and university takes its toll on me, but I'm still gonna try. I'm gonna try and put out once or twice a week videos even then, and for all of August you should be getting twice weekly videos. So I hope to see you again in the future. Keep playing by your own rules, guys. Bye!